just see that this is really live and all. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. We've got sound over here that I do not want. Okay. So now, folks, so here we are in Minecraft Education Edition, okay? Now this, what we're going to do today, everything we're going to do would work in Minecraft Windows 10, Minecraft Java, etc. We're dealing with an introduction to commands and command blocks. So now, the important thing here is when you start using, if you choose Minecraft as the program that you're going to use to create your digital story / game, which we'll talk about shortly, if you use Minecraft, it's going to be important to automate things in the game, a lot of which you'll do with commands and more so even with command blocks. So what I like to do is go through teaching a little bit about how commands work in general, because the beauty is once you then learn how to use command blocks, any command that you know or understand how to use can easily be then used as a command block, in a command block. So basically a command block is a block. I'll show you what it looks like, but we won't use it yet. When I go to /, and you'll see this more in a minute, I want to give myself a command block, and this is what a command block looks like, okay? So basically, any command I know in Minecraft that I put into this command block, I can make it activated at any time during the game, okay? That is kind of cool. So, but we're going to start with the basics of just actually commands and stuff. So, commands, in order to use a command in Minecraft, if I do the / key, notice how it starts to show me a list of available commands. These are all commands you could type in. And if you notice, it goes up to M. It's alphabetical in this case, which means there are more than that. But any of these commands, once I start typing, like let's say I want to set the time, and actually I'll show you even, so if I start typing in time, or TI, it starts to narrow my search, right, of what commands are available. If I type in time, then it gives me some, it starts to show me kind of the syntax or how this command works, right? So it shows me time, the definition or the idea of this time command is it changes or queries the world's time. I can add time. I like to set the time. I think it's just the most logical one to do at times. So I could time set, and let's say we want to say sunrise. Okay? Now it's sunrise in my game. Let's see if we can find the sun. Oh, look at how lovely. Okay? The sun is rising. It will keep rising. I think the day cycle in Minecraft, anybody know how long the day cycle is? How long? 15, is it? Okay.
No.
How long do you think it is?
10.
10? I guess we can find that out at some point. We can probably look it up. You have a different answer?
Yeah. Nighttime lasts for 7 minutes, daytime lasts for 10.
Ooh. Do you have a different answer? You would say the same? Yeah. All right, maybe. I knew it was around 20 minutes. I never really quite paid attention to that exactly. So anyway, look, it's already becoming a beautiful day here in Minecraft. Now, some other commands, and actually, why doesn't everybody in Minecraft just try that command real quick? What you want to do is, and if you didn't do it yet, go to Education Edition, log in. You want to actually create a brand new world. I would say put it in creative mode. That'll be just the easiest.
Which world should we use?
I was saying just create a new world. So if you go to create a new world, name it, I don't know, maybe name it command test or something. Hit create new. New. And go to make it in creative mode instead of survival. And let's see. So again, /time set. And let's say I want to make it night. There we go. I just made it nighttime. Okay. And we're going to be practicing a lot of these, so if you didn't get to this one yet, I'll keep going, and then we'll do a few at a time if you need to. All right, so everybody now comfortable with the time command, at least the idea of it? Create new, and then you want to make sure it's a creative world, just because it's easier to work with. Hit new. Go here instead of survival, just go to creative. And maybe call it something like command test. Yes, Lucas?
May I give out a helpful tip?
Yep.
there's kind of this hack in Minecraft where you can do time set like sunrise, but if you do like time set 300, 500, I think it'll set it to like a different time.
It does. You're absolutely right. So when you set the time, you can either tell it a numerical time or sunrise, sunset, day, night. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to time, set, day. So there we go. Beautiful day in Minecraft. Now, let me just show you a couple other commands. We'll be playing with this all along as well. What are you setting there? Server what? Game rule. Daylight cycle what? False? Okay, so there are a lot of different things you can do. We'll get to that. You'll learn a lot of that on your own as well. We've got Snow Crash watching. Oh, Lisa Dolly's here. Hey, Lisa Dolly is the queen of gamification. Everything I learned about gamification and quest-based learning stems back to her. Yes?
How do you get the command block again?
We're not going to worry about that yet because we're not really using it yet. I just wanted to show you what it looked like. So now, yes? Which part? So now, let's bring our attention back for a minute. Let's stop, look, and listen. You're going to keep getting opportunities to try all this. I just want to show a few, kind of get the juices flowing, and then let you try them so that we could then move up to command blocks. Okay? So I'm going to do /weather, okay? And I could set the weather. I can query the weather. Let's see what that says. And it tells us weather state is clear. So we have our own built-in weather report in Minecraft. /weather, and then I could do, let's say, thunder. And now we're going to have a rainy, thunderous day. Okay, you don't want that open right now with the code builder thing. Just close that, yeah. You want to hit /, remember? No, don't worry about give. You're not giving. Don't worry about the command block part yet. Okay, so here we have some. Now let's see. What do you think it'll say when I query the weather now? Weather state is thunder. Okay, good. Now, I'm a little scared of thunder, so I'm going to make it clear again. And it's starting to clear up. All right. So far, we got the very basics of using commands, right? The important things, and if it should be kind of in some form of notes if you're taking them. There's a / key to initiate that we're going to write a command. The command will always have the name of the command. And then it will have, we'll call them parameters that kind of define what we're going to do, and what we'll also call syntax, which is, again, if we do weather, the proper syntax to change the weather would be weather space, and I'm going to stay with clear for now. Now, you ready for some fun stuff? So, everybody loves to summon entities, right? So, in the game, some confusion lies in that some of us, like when you put an egg in the game, it uses the terminology not summon but what? Anybody know? Tells us that we're going to blank a chicken if we put an egg in. Spawn. So one would think that the command might be spawn, but it's summon. So I'm going to summon a chicken, okay? And there's my chicken. I'm going to summon another chicken. And I know a lot of you are going to summon an ender dragon. Okay, there are my chickens. Now, a couple of interesting things, too, to note. Ready? Take a look up here for a second. When I hit / again, if I use the up arrow, it'll cycle through commands I've already used. Weather clear, weather query, weather thunder, and I can go back and forth that way, and I'll summon another chicken. Now, that's all fun and fine and good, right? But we want to now, I want to summon a chicken, but I want it to fall out of the sky, okay? So there are a couple of ways we could do that. First off, hit escape for a minute and go to settings and scroll down a little, and I would get in the habit of having this show coordinates on always, really, for our purposes. So click on show coordinates, and then we can go back into the game. And do you see up top now it says position 3553, 68, -5. Okay, if you're like me, you're probably, thanks Lisa, have a great day as well. If you're like me, you're going to end up with a Post-it or something with a lot of coordinates written all over it. Yes?
Mine's not working again.
Which part?
When I try to create new, it accidentally, you know, it says
So you might want to do it on the computer for now. Let's see if we can just go into this. See, here's actually the computer's application. So why don't you go over to maybe this one? Okay. All right. So now moving right along. So see my coordinates right now, and I'm going to just write these down so I have them. 3553, 68, -5. Do you know what those coordinates mean? What do they mean? What's first name? Part B.
The X, Y, and Z coordinates.
The X, Y, and Z coordinates. To make life seem easy, and it's very interesting because depending on which programs you're using, sometimes these vary. But in Minecraft, X is like east and west, okay? So in theory, from the starting point of the game, or from the 000 spot, I am 3,553 blocks away from it. 68 is the Y is the height. So again, from like sea level right now, I am, or from the, I think it's not really is it sea level or is it probably the bottom layer really?
64 is sea level, 0 is bedrock.
0 is bedrock. So 0, but that's interesting. Well, okay. So anyway, 0 is right all the way down. So I'm 68 blocks from the bottom, let's say, and -5 on the z-axis, okay? So now, one thing I could do for my chicken is I could summon my chicken, and if I want it to be kind of just come from above, I'm going to keep the same x-axis, and I'll show you another trick way to do this in a minute, and I'm going to go, instead of 68 on the y, maybe I want to go 20 blocks higher. What should I make it? I want him to fall from 20 blocks above me. 88. And then the z, I'm going to keep the same. Okay? So do you understand? I have my x, y, z. I did not change the x or the z, but I did change the y. So this chicken is going to fall from where? Above me. So ready? Look up in the sky, and it's a chicken. Bok, bok. Okay, pretty cool, huh? Now, again, I could do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Okay? Now, and wait till we get to Code Builder where you could repeat this and have it just do it 1,000 times. All right, now, here, let's try it with let's just change it now to a pig. Any hypotheses out there?
The pig's gonna die.
What's, Jacob?
It's gonna die
It's gonna die, why?
because
It's too high up. It can't handle that fall. Oops. But it can give us dinner, right? So, important point to note. Chickens are born with a built-in parachute, which is very nice. Pigs are not. So if your parents and you try to have an argument like one of these, like, I won't make you clean your room ever again when pigs fly, don't use Minecraft as the example of trying to prove to them that you should not have to clean your room. Okay, so there's that, right? Now, another little trick for the summon is if I use this, see this little squiggly tilde, tilde, tilde? Anybody know what those mean?
Your position that you are at the moment.
They are my position, what?
You are at the moment.
Yeah, like in other words, we'll call it the relative position. When I use the coordinates that are on, that I'm typing in, the real coordinates, those are absolute coordinates. These are relative coordinates. So, tilde, summon chicken, silly. Summon chicken, tilde, like, think of it like as if there was a tilde 0, might make more sense to look at. 0 relative to where I am on the x, 20 relative to where I am on the y, and 0 relative to where I am at the z. It's also going to fall from 20 blocks up in the sky, okay? So now that's a start. Has everybody, while we've been working along here, has everybody, oh, let's see, somebody else is here. Rensselaer Gaming just stopped in class, so sound is muted. Okay, so you don't hear me saying what you're saying, but hello. So when, what was I saying? Something about the, oh yeah, has everybody done so far, like changed the day, the time, maybe summoned at least one entity and all that? Are you getting comfortable with that? Okay, we're going to do a whole lot more with this moving forward, but I just want to at least show you how this works with command blocks, okay? So the thing about command blocks is you actually can't find them in your inventory. If I search for command blocks, they're not there. I kind of like that in a way because I feel like it kind of implies in some way that command blocks are sort of super secret, and we now know the secret, right? So, so with a command block, you have to, like I did before, give it to yourself. So give is a command, @s for @s, and actually here, let's look at this. Give space. See how it now shows a bunch of things here? I can give it to Steve and I, that's me. I can give it to all players. I could give it to my agent. We'll learn about the agent probably tomorrow. Or I could give it to myself @s. So I'm going to do @s, and I want to give a command block, and as I start typing, it auto-fills a little bit. And if I now hit tab, that's another little trick. It'll actually give me, it'll fill it in. So I have a command block. So now, I'm going to place this command block here, and it might be a good time to have a command that makes it turn to day. So what would I type in here to make it day, do you think? Somebody who doesn't think they necessarily think they should know, but now knows. Does that make sense? What's the command for time? It's a tricky one. What is it, Lucas?
Time set.
Time.
/time set.
Set day. Now, interestingly, in a command block, you don't actually need the slash, which is fine. For a regular command block, we're going to keep it as impulse, unconditional, and needs redstone. Okay? So I'm going to say time set day. Now, I need something to activate this. I need that to be like an input device, like let's say a pressure plate. And I like the stone pressure plate because I know that it's at least weighted in such a way that I will activate it if I step on it. So I'm going to right-click there, okay? So now it's dark, right? Now when I walk onto and step on this, what happened?
What? Oh.
It turned to day. Nifty, right? Which kind of makes me think I could have some fun here and make this one say, what do you think? How about time set night? And put a pressure plate there. And ready? Night. Day. Night. Day. Night. Day. Okay, nifty, huh? Now, there are times where that would make sense in your game that you might want to make it. Oh, and now look, the sheep is now activating my command blocks as well. Okay? So here we, whoops, I keep throwing things by accident. So, night, day. Okay. Now, we also know how to summon a chicken, right? Now, I could just summon it right there. Chicken. Night, day, chicken. Chicken. Now all these chickens are going to start activating our night and day mechanisms. And the chickens are going to start spawning other chickens. Okay? So you get the idea of how that works? Now, let's take this, let's see, who's in there now? Mr. Scribner is here. How you guys doing, Harvey? Good to see you. Good to see people in our chat. This is awesome. All right, so there we have it, right? Now, let's say when you start making a game in here, let's say there becomes a point where I want to say, ooh, you know what? Once I get to this point in the game, I want it to be a checkpoint. Okay? Anybody know how I might do that? What's that? actually the command, and this is an interesting one too. I could type it in spawn point at P, I think we'll do it, for the nearest player. When you're talking about a command block, if I did at self, anybody know what it would think I was referring to? What would at self within a command block be referring to? The command block. So I'm usually not telling the command block, you know what I mean? So spawn point for the player. Now let's see if that works. So here we go, right? So now my spawn point is now here. Now if I were in survival mode, and that's another command, game mode S, right? Now if I kill my player, oops. Now notice where I respawn. Where did I respawn? In my nifty spot, right? Again, /kill, and I respawn there. Do you see how handy that's going to be when we start making games and stuff? To be able to spawn, you know, at that point. Okay? So, does that make sense as a starting point? I want to give you something to play around with. I also want you to get in the habit of this. Ready? When you are starting to play around with commands, the command blocks are great once you know what the right command is, but to test and figure out the right commands, the / is so much better because it prompts you and helps you figure it out. So like watch this one for a minute. Anybody know the fill command? No? All right, you ready to be impressed? Remember how I made my space over there was 3553, 68, -5. Okay? Let's say I want to make a building that is 20 by 20 by 20. Okay? So when you use the fill command and watch what it shows us, /fill space, it's saying the syntax for this is from XYZ to XYZ, then the name of the block, and then some other stuff if we want to use it too. So from is where I want to start my cube, let's say. Now, what if I want to make it 20 by 20 by 20? Where would I want my 2 to go? So what's 3553 plus 20? 3573. What's 68 plus 20? 88. And Bridget, right?
Yeah.
What is -5 plus 20? That's a tricky one. What? 15. So I want to go from 3553, 68, -5 to 3573, 88, 15. Got it? And what is our, let's say we want to make this out of diamond block. Notice also, as I start typing, it'll let me know what I have to type in. If I want diamond block, I have to put that underscore. If I had a space there in programming and stuff, when you put a space in, it thinks I'm moving like to another command or something. So diamond block. Now, here's a little trick too. Well, I'll do it that way first. Boom, let's see. Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is. Oh, I gotta go back to... So, now there's that block that I just created, a 20 by 20 block. Do you see how that's gonna help you build aspects of your structures quicker? But now here's an interesting thing. Oh, it is pretty solid. So I wouldn't be, it's not really hollow. But watch this. Because I used the coordinates, you want to see something? Pay attention. /, I'm going to go up and do the same thing again. I'm going to I want to kind of redo this. And since I used absolute coordinates and not relative coordinates, this is easier. What do you think is going to happen if I type in air here? It's going to disappear. It's going to fill that area with air. Ready? Somebody say abracadabra. Oops. Okay. Now, I want to do the same thing with diamond block, but I want it to be hollow so I could go inside and do something in there. If I do 0 space hollow, now boom. Now watch, ready? Now I have a hollow block. Okay? Pretty cool. You're allowed to say ooh and ah. Yep. All right, so there you have it. So that's another thing. Now, of course, again, if I put this in a command block, it would also do it, right? Like, let's say I decide to put a command block here. This will be kind of funny, maybe. I'm going to make this one slash fill 3553 68 -5 to 3573. Nope. 3573 88 15 with air. Now there's our command block. I need to activate it. Oops, pressure plate. We'll take another pressure plate again. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I step on that pressure plate? What's going to break? The diamond thing's going to disappear, so I'll probably fall, right? Let's see if that works. Oh, wait a minute. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Fill 3553 68 -5. Ooh, I did that wrong. I totally filled another area with air. 3573 88 15 with air. All right, ready? Abraca. Ah! But the cool thing about command blocks, I mean, well, certainly, first of all, they don't disappear. I guess my pressure plate could not stay there with that. But now, if oops. Let's, well, here. We'll just make a new command block here. Oops. Slash fill 3553 68 -5 3573 88 15 diamond block 0 hollow, and I need a pressure plate, and now I'm in my diamond block that I just recreated. Uh-oh, help me, I'm stuck in a diamond block. Okay, got it? So that's how this all kind of works. So now I want you to take that with you, and at least for the rest of today, which is about 10 minutes, play around with commands and command blocks and just see what kind of neat things you can do. And then when we start moving forward with this project, you'll start to understand that this is going to come very in handy. So I'll stop the stream now, but you could continue. And we had a few other people join in. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to sign out now. We have 6 people watching right now. How great is that? All right. Catch y'all later. Thank you.